I stepped into the forest, taking a deep breath of the crisp, clean air. The sun shone through the trees, casting long shadows on the ground. Birds sang in the branches, and small creatures rustled in the undergrowth. I felt a sense of peace and calm as I walked, and a feeling of anticipation as I looked around, wondering what I might find. It was beautiful and mysterious, and I knew I was in for an adventure. The forest was dark and mysterious. The trees were tall and imposing, their trunks covered in a thick layer of mossing. The air was heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. The sun barely penetrated the canopy of branches and leaves, leaving the forest in a perpetual twilight. The ground was covered with a thick blanket of fallen leaves, and there was a strange, almost magical silence that seemed to hang in the air. The witch's warning had been heard loud and clear. With a sense of dread, the adventurers ventured into the mysterious cave. As they descended, their anticipation began to grow. Suddenly, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber, and in it, a treasure beyond their wildest dreams. Gold coins, jewels, and priceless artifacts were scattered around the room. After a moment of awe, the adventurers quickly gathered the treasure and made their way back to the entrance, ready to face the final test. The final test was the most difficult of all. It required the adventurers to face their deepest fears and conquer them in order to reach the hidden treasure. They had to trust in their own courage and strength to make their way through the dark, winding tunnels of the mysterious cave. In the end, they were rewarded with the riches they sought, but only after they had faced the ultimate challenge of overcoming their own doubts and fears. The eerie silence of the forest was suddenly broken by strange sounds. Twigs snapped and branches rustled, as if something or someone was moving around in the darkness. An owl hooted in the distance, and the wind whistled through the trees. All these strange noises made it difficult to tell what was lurking in the shadows. The sounds seemed to be coming from all directions, creating an uneasy feeling in the air. As I ventured deeper into the forest, I noticed a small, dilapidated cottage tucked away in a clearing. The cottage was made of wood, and the roof was covered in moss and vines. The windows were broken, and the door hung off its hinges. I felt a chill go down my spine as I realized this must be the witch's house. I cautiously stepped closer and noticed a faint light flickering inside. I hesitated for a moment before I decided to go and investigate. The protagonist stepped carefully through the forest, eyes wide with curiosity and wonder. Suddenly, they heard a faint rustling noise and stopped in their tracks. Ahead of them was a small gray squirrel, peeking out from behind a tree. The protagonist smiled and slowly moved closer, and the squirrel seemed to be inviting them to come closer. As they approached, the squirrel chirped and chattered, as if it were trying to communicate something. The protagonist felt a strange connection with the squirrel, and they knew that this was the beginning of a special journey. I nervously approached the fox, who was perched atop a large rock. His piercing gaze seemed to pierce through me, and I could feel my heart racing. I slowly stepped closer, and he cocked his head slightly, as if he was studying me. I was not sure what to do, so I stayed still and waited for him to make the first move. He eventually hopped down from the rock and slowly walked towards me. We stood there for a moment, just looking at each other, until finally, he broke the silence with a friendly greeting. I was a little hesitant when I saw the owl perched atop a tall tree. I had heard stories of wise owls, but I had never seen one in person. I slowly approached the owl, and it seemed to be studying me with its large, round eyes. I was surprised when it tilted its head and let out a soft hoot. I cautiously reached out my hand, and the owl stepped onto it. I was amazed at its soft feathers and gentle demeanor. I had just made a new friend. Making friends with the animals in the forest was a challenge. To start, I had to be patient and understanding of their behavior. I slowly earned their trust by bringing them treats and talking to them in a gentle voice. I also had to be aware of their individual personalities and needs. Some animals were more outgoing and eager to be friends, while others were more shy and needed a little more time and patience to warm up to me. As I continued to spend time with them, I was able to build strong relationships with each one. I was amazed at how quickly I had formed such strong bonds with the animals in the forest. The previous chapter left the adventurers in awe of the mysterious witch they had encountered. She had warned them of the dangers that lie ahead, but also offered a cryptic clue that could help them on their quest. Now, the adventurers had to decide if they should heed the witch's warning and turn back, or continue on their journey and risk the unknown. With heavy hearts, the adventurers decided to press on. Little did they know what dangers awaited them in the depths of the mysterious cave. The witch's warning had been clear. No one was to enter the mysterious cave. But curiosity got the better of the adventurers, and they decided to take a closer look. As they stepped into the darkness, they were met with a damp, musty smell. A chill ran down their spines as they realized that this cave had been untouched for centuries. They could see the faint outline of stalactites and stalagmites, the walls covered in ancient etchings. They knew they had to be careful and tread lightly. This cave held secrets that had been hidden away for a very long time.
If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from us. We'll be bringing you more exciting stories and videos like this one. See you next time.